Everybody wants to increase their business. And we've been hearing about this for a while in retail and in wholesale, that there's going to be ways in the future where we can use artificial intelligence and deep learning and all kinds of things like facial recognition in order to improve our customer service and to therefore increase our overall sales and profit. I've got a great guest today. This is Randy Kirk at Small Business Daily, and my guest is Frank Way of Nuo. And Nuo is a leading manufacturer of cameras that are used in conjunction with artificial intelligence programs. I hope I'm saying all of that right. Frank, maybe you should straighten me out and say and tell me how I should have said that.
Hey, Randy. It's great to be back today. You actually did a very good job to explaining what Nuo is. We're definitely a global leading manufacturers for artificial intelligence system, not just the hardware, but also the analytic software. We specialize in like security cameras, access control, storage, the business analytic softwares. So it's a turnkey solution to help you cover both of your security needs and also your business operation needs.
And in fact, Frank, yesterday, for those of you who missed it, you can go back and take a look at yesterday's video, and you'll see that we talked about exterior security and interior security and thermal imaging to take people's temperature for COVID. And so it was a great show yesterday. So go back and check that out if you missed it. But today we want to talk about kind of another whole world that's coming. And I know I've seen pictures in movies of people passing a retail store in a mall, and the video is capturing their facial image, and then it's ringing their phone and telling them that their size coat is on sale today if they just come on in. Is that something like what you're talking about, or are we there yet, or is it something in between?
It's definitely happening. You know, the scenario you just mentioned, this is definitely the way what we call brick and mortar retailers, they're trying to know their customers better, right? So we all know Amazon, we all know those online retails. They captures every single click you have on their website, right? So they know what's your preference, they have all your order history. But unfortunately, the brick and mortar retail shops, they don't know. You walk into a store, you purchase your products, and you leave. They have no data of their customers' database. So how they can really start collecting those data so they can better approach their customers. Like you just mentioned the scenario, right? They first have to know who is that customer, right? And have them been to our store before. When they've been to our store, which aisle he or she walked more often to, what product he has purchased before. So that's really now the AI can really help to get those information for the store managers so they better understand it through actually the security camera system. A lot of times the retail stores, they got their security cameras, they're only for loss prevention, right? But be honest, how often you're gonna review that footage per month? If you're a store manager, without anything being stolen, everything is correct, you probably won't see it until next incident happens. But those data are looking at the aisles, between the aisles, they actually really collect those customer behaviors. Are they prefer to stay in this aisle longer than the other one because they're more interested in the product on this one? And those data now can be really analyzed through the AI. So you can really understand what the customer's preference, and when they walk into the store, how many percent of the customer tend to turn right compared to turn left? What color, what kind of advertisement you have in the store will attract people more, especially for those, we'll call the luxury type of products like Hermes, like we talk about like Chanel. Every month they will have a different thing, right? They have a different advertisement. They want to promote a new bag. They want to promote a new clothes. once they change their advertisement, they want to know, okay, if the customer are more interested in this one compared to last one. So the last one's advertisement. So now they can use this data to analyze it, how long the customer are looking at this advertisement. Is they stay there for over 10 seconds or they just leave with 2 seconds. That can be recognized by the cameras looking at their outside their stores, because now they can recognize it, how long the customers has been standing in front of advertisement, and now you have those data. And the most important thing, you got all the histories, because just like you keep your security videos for 30 days, 60 days, now those data stays in your database, so you can do month-to-month comparison. You can compare it with last month, you can compare it with the same month last year, because those data now is putting into a dashboard. So you can do store-to-store analysis, month-to-month analysis, and you can make a better decision for your future marketing spend.
So we have all of this, we already do all of this, as you pointed out, online. So even the least sophisticated website can have a thermal image. I forget the name of the program that you can use, but there's a program that basically tracks the eyeballs of everybody who comes to your website and says, okay, here's a hot spot over here on your website. This is where people are really paying a lot of attention. And this thing over here that you wanted them to pay attention, they're not paying any attention at all over there. So maybe you need to flip them, or maybe that one needs to be red and this one needs to be green. But you have this data all throughout your website, if you choose to use it, if you choose to be bothered, and a lot of people don't, but there is at least the opportunity to follow somebody all the way through your website, where they stop, where they start. Did they go into fill out the form? Did they stop? They didn't fill out the form. They almost filled out the form, but they never pushed submit. Did they start to purchase, but then they decided not to purchase? I mean, all that information is available in our e-commerce world. But as you point out, brick and mortar isn't using it. Let me tell you how sad it really is. Okay, I know a lot about retail. I've written half a dozen books about bicycle retail stores, and I've been studying the bicycle retail environment for half a century. Anyway, the bicycle retailer, like almost every other retailer, and I've had a lot of experience with other retailers, I can't even get them to put in a counter on the front door to find out how many people are coming in per day, per hour, this time of day versus another time of day, this day of the week versus another day of the week, this day, this month versus last month, or versus last year, the same day. I can't even get them to spend the half an hour and the $50 that it would take to put the counter in. So it's a little crazy that the e-commerce world kind of gets it, but brick and mortar, who's losing out to e-commerce, isn't even doing that simple thing. What do you find when you're talking to these retailers about putting in something even more sophisticated that would give them the kind of data you're talking about?
I think this is definitely a very interesting question. It turned out to be, today we're talking about small business owners, right? We all know one term you can definitely get from Randy's book, ROI, right? Return on investment, right? So the key really for us to talk with our customers, the key is the return on investment is very easily measured with our solutions, with this business analytics solutions. The key is you have a very low investment. The reason why is you already got your security system, right? For you, you have to convince them to invest something they don't have. So, and you have to be able to quantify it in a short period of time. But for us is, hey, you already got your security cameras. How often do you use them? Once a month, maybe, every other month. But what if I can tell you with this software that you will be able to analyze it, how many customers are coming into your store compared to last month, compared to the same month of last year, but you're using your existing system. You don't spend extra money.
Yeah,
and now you're using it every day,
and you're
right? Because
not only as a counter, but also how long do they stay in the store? Where do they go? All the things you were just talking about, which I mean, that's got to be super valuable information if it's used. If it's used.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the biggest point is you already have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You already have it, but you just don't watch it because there's nothing, like some loss prevention event happen, you don't have to review it. But what if now those data you collected every single day, every single minute, we can start doing the business analytics and help you count how many people are in your stores at different times, so you can better manage. Okay, during the, sometimes, maybe during those rush hours, I need to add some cans. But now I can be able to identify what are those rush hours for me on a daily basis.
And this information, just to give you an idea, I consider some people who have read my books probably have seen this before. I consider In-N-Out hamburgers. They are one of the best run companies in the world. They are super profitable. Their little stores, some of those little stores are doing 3, 4, 5. In fact, almost all of them do at least 3 million, and some of those stores do $5 million a year. How are they this good? Why are they so successful? Well, one of the reasons is they count everything. They count how many hamburgers they sold the same day last year, the same hour last year, on that particular day, how many personnel they will need as a result of this many hamburgers that they think they're going to sell on any given day. All of this data is constantly being fed into their computers, and they use the data to make very wise decisions about everything from how to buy the right amount of fresh meat, because they want only fresh hamburgers every day, how much lettuce to buy, how much potatoes to buy, how many employees to have on each shift at each given time. The data is unbelievably important to them. Now we're talking about a world where data is starting to be important to everybody. And this system, it sounds like, would take existing hardware.
Exactly. And
put it into a different program. Would it be in an existing computer, or do you have to buy a new computer, or does it just software that goes into your PC or Mac?
It's actually a turnkey server with the software installed. That's the only thing you need to get from us. And you can definitely keep, if you already got your security system, you can keep it separately. That whatever the video recorder is doing their video thing. Mm-hmm. And we're taking the same video feed coming to our business analytics servers, then we can start generating those reports that you're asking for. And the biggest advantage of this business analytics system is that it's a multi-site application. You mentioned about In-N-Out Burger. You mentioned about the different retail shops. You definitely want to have the best practice, of the many stores you have, right? You using this business analytics servers, you will be able to analyze the how many people are coming in, how many burgers they're selling per hour per different store. And you're putting all those data in one dashboard. So now you will be able to find out, hey, why this store in North Hollywood sells more hamburgers though than the other one in Los Angeles? Let me actually go back. And now you have the video clips, right? Because you're coming from your videos of that store. You can go back and review that store and start trying to see what are those things they're doing good. What are those secrets? Why they're being more efficient? What else they're doing better in this store than the other? Now you can start just standardize those best practice and start promoting into the different stores. All the key of this scenario is that you have the videos. We always say, right, one picture says 1,000 words. When you're reading the numbers, you can say, oh, the store in Hollywood is better than the store in Los Angeles. But why? Nobody knows. You only see the data. You only see the numbers. But now with the videos, you can log in. And remember, our security system can report up to 90 days or even a year. If you want to, you can actually have the full of data. You can go back and review what's the best SOP that store has, and you want to pass that over to the other stores. So that's really the key of the videos, in our opinion.
So are there any other things? We've talked about, I think in the main, we're talking about aggregating uh, data that is not personal. It's just that people are moving in certain ways, but it's not them individually. Are we at the point? Is it legal? Is it okay? Is it appropriate? Is it moral, ethical to actually capture their face and then capture them as a customer, as a client, and then individually manage them in our data for future email blasts or for future when they walk in the store next time? Hey, George, last time you were here, you bought this. I mean, we do it with their permission now in places like Nordstrom's and whatever, but is this something that we can do without their permission, and should we?
That's actually a great question. Let me start by asking this one. Do you give Amazon the permission to record every single clicks you have?
No. Yes, but not specifically.
Right? We never sign a waiver form or sign what kind of form to Amazon say you can record every activities I have in your website. But they're already doing it, right? So it's the same thing happened in the brick and mortar retailers. Like when you're installing a security system, that's where we start our businesses. The customers always put like this facility is under 24 hours video surveillance. You have that banner, in front of the entrance. That's actually very important because you want to be legally capture the videos to showing the customers this facility is under the video surveillance. We're not doing anything else other than that because we're still getting the same data under the same banner, right? That's still the same video surveillance videos that we're trying to protect our property, to protect our customers and employees. So I think we're definitely being in that gray zones because we're not taking anything else other than the security cameras we have. What we're doing right now is to use the data we have, but we're making it a different purposes to help improve our business. Right. We're not getting anything else other than that videos we already tell you we're gonna get.
Right.
And you already know we're going to get the security videos in this facility because you saw that banners at the entrance and you decided to walk in. So I think that's really being the key is that we're not taking anything else other than that security cameras. It's really the software is doing that analytics, trying to help the business to understand their customer better. And there's one thing I do want to mention. For the businesses, you will be able to identify your VIP customers much faster. And that's really, you want to differentiate yourself from the other competitors, right? Because once you know these customers, they're those VIP program, right? You purchase a lot of products in the store. Next time when you walk in, what if they already can see you when your car just coming to the parking lot? Right? Because they know you're now in this shopping mall, and the managers will start preparing, like your best coffee, the coffee you like, with the product you purchased last time. There was just lining up, waiting for you to come into the store to check out. They will have the person waiting for you at your parking spaces because now they know better of you as a VIP customers. Yeah, and I think that's the key.
I don't know how many people have ever had the Nordstrom's experience, but they've been doing that for years. But it is a case of where they do sit down and take your information, and then when they give you a call, they're going to come in and you can prepare and give them that kind of VIP treatment. So when people are asked about privacy online and whether they care that Amazon or anybody else is watching them move around, most people say, no, it's really helping me out because it's giving me information and ads for the things that I'm actually interested in. So I'd much rather get ads for things I'm interested in than things that I'm not interested in. So most people seem, I think in surveys have said, no, I don't mind at all. I'm not doing anything wrong. So what do I care? But I suspect at some point, Frank, there might be people that are going to say, you know what, I don't like this. But then that's true for so much that's modern and innovative, especially in the tech space. for every new invention and new, 150 years ago, well, not quite that long, 120 years ago, people were afraid that if they ever went over 30 miles an hour on a car, they would die. So they, so we're always going to have people that have a certain amount of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, or FUD. But it sounds to me like, in general, most people that get it would say, you know what, I'm delighted that the store cares enough about me to keep data on me so that they can serve me better in the future.
Exactly. And also the store will use that data to better, put their products in order. So just like you mentioned, if they recognize 70% of the person, they're interested in this product in this aisle compared to the others, then they can start making the specific ads for that products in that aisle for you. Just like you mentioned, right? You always want to be able to get more targeted ads online, but now you have the opportunity to get it in your retail shops as well. That's really, this technology can help people feel more convenient to get what they want.
Well, Frank, as I said yesterday, it's extremely fascinating to have had you on. I've learned a lot, and it's an exciting. It must be an exciting place to be, to see these new technologies developing, and in fact, you being at the forefront of creating new code and new designs, and just being out there making some of these things happen. Really enjoyed having you on yesterday to talk about interior and exterior traditional security and how that can be done better. And today, talking about how to use facial recognition and AI to turn your workplace or your retail store, your brick and mortar retail store, into a data capturing environment that will help both the customer and the store to do better. So if you're interested in talking to Frank, there is a down there in the description, there's a link. All you got to do is click the link. It'll take you to a form, and you'll be able to get on the phone with Frank or with one of his people, and they'll help you to talk about what, if any, of this amazing new stuff might be interesting to you. So Frank, again, thanks for being on. And I have no idea what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So you're just going to have to show up to find out. If you liked what we talked about today, if you like hearing about these new technologies and stuff, make a comment in the comments, or hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and even push the notify button. And if you push the notify button right now, sometime between now and tomorrow morning, you're going to get a notification of what we're going to talk about tomorrow. But I know we've got a bunch more interviews lined up, and so it might be an interview with another interesting individual like Frank from Nuo. So this is Randy Kirk from Small Business Daily. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you for having me.